I've got 6 tips for you for out-of-state executors. So if you're an executor or an administrator of an estate and you are out of state and dealing with an estate that's in a different state than what, I've got 6 tips for you today to help you out with that. Georgia Probate Resource is a real estate solutions company in Metro Atlanta, but we buy houses all over the state of Georgia, and we specialize in the world of probate and inheritance properties. So tip number 1 for your out-of-state executors or your out-of-state administrators, I recommend, if you haven't already done so, to hire a probate attorney to assist you with this, because sometimes it might require you to actually come into town, and a lot of times a probate attorney can represent you in terms of dealing with this estate, so you don't actually have to come in town. And also, in light of COVID and everything that happened, a lot of times you can take your oath as the administrator or as the executor electronically via a Zoom call, rather than having to come into town and go to the courthouse and take the oath that way. That's a benefit to you there. I do recommend that you hire a probate attorney. And if you're worried about the cost of a probate attorney, check out some of my other videos. We have some alternatives for you that most people don't realize exist, where you may not have to pay all the money up front to deal with the probate attorney. You can pay it on the backside whenever you go sell the estate and sell the property. So number 2, find boots on the ground. So you're going to need to find people in that local market where the estate property is or the rest of the estate is. And you're going to need some sort of gopher or an inspector, somebody who can go check on things for you. Maybe that's somebody that you know, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's somebody you don't know, maybe it's someone you find off the internet. Find that person that's willing to go help you, and check on things for you. You know, sometimes it can be, you know, like a teenage son of somebody you know, right? And you pay them 20, 30 bucks or something to, you know, maybe you send them some Grubhub gift cards or something, right? Just what do kids like? Figure out what they like. They drive over there, check on the place, maybe send you some pictures once a week. Just check on the place for you. Make sure everything's okay. You're going to need some sort of real estate agent or a real estate investor. I'm actually both. I'm an agent and I'm an investor, because more than likely you're probably selling a property associated with this estate. And the good thing is a good agent or a good investor is going to have resources that they can refer you to deal with the estate. They might be able to do it all for you. In fact, a lot of times without estate executors, investors, or administrators, we handle a lot of stuff for them. For instance, we had a deal a few years ago. If you look at some of the testimonial videos on our website, there was a gentleman who lived in Colorado. That's a long way away from Georgia. And we dealt with a lot of stuff for him. We met some contractors over at the house. We even helped him get rid of a car that was there at the property that he didn't want, and it was an inoperable car. We helped him get that towed away, got a towing company. We helped him obtain a title to the car. Obviously, we helped him with the house. Ultimately, we bought the house from him, and he was ecstatic about the whole thing because he didn't have to fly across the country to deal with this. We helped him out with the whole thing. And a good real estate agent or a good investor that you're working with is going to help you do that. If they aren't willing to do that, then it's probably not the right fit for you, because you really need that person to, you know, be your right-hand man in that scenario. They're also going to be able to refer you to contractors. You're probably going to need some sort of contractors, whether maybe it's in the summertime, you just need someone to go mow the grass over at the house or something like that. Maybe you're doing some repair work on the house. You're going to need contractors, right? The third tip in this is don't ask for recommendations. Wait, what? Don't ask for recommendations? That's crazy. No, like, why would I not ask for recommendations? Well, here's what I'm getting at here. Okay. Don't go in a local Facebook group and say, hey, I'm John Smith from out of town and I need a plumber to deal with this estate property. Because some shark is going to go in there and try to take advantage of you that way, because they're going to see that you're out of state. They're going to see you're vulnerable. They're going to try to take advantage of you. Also, in terms of asking for a real estate agent in a local area, if you ever post that in a Facebook group, you will get inundated with agents, because agents are a dime a dozen. There's a bazillion of them out there. Everybody and their brother is a real estate agent nowadays, and they will just, you'll be like, oh my gosh, go away. You'll be swatting them away with a baseball bat, because there's just so many of them, and they'll just be swarming you if you post in that. So my recommendation and my tip for that is to go in a local Facebook group. There's a lot of different local Facebook groups for different areas, and just scroll through the posts, maybe search for some posts related to what you need. Maybe you need a plumber or something, so search for plumber posts, or search for plumbing issue, you know, help, I need help with this plumbing issue or something, and someone takes a picture. The plumber or the contractor that you want to hire is going to be the one that's being helpful and maybe like commenting on someone's post and helping them out and being like, hey, you know, you have this problem, looks like this problem to me, you know, give me a call or whatever. The ones you want to avoid, in my opinion, are the ones that are like, hey, I'm a real estate agent, here's my number, call me. Like, they're not being helpful, they're literally just soliciting business to you, and that's it. The ones that are helpful in the group and are contributors to that group, maybe you see them regularly post, you see their name pop up, helping people out, being always helpful, that's the person you want to hire. Because if they're being helpful to those people in that group, more than likely they're going to be helpful to you as the out-of-state executor in whatever needs you have for that particular property. So tip number 4, only take contractor referrals from trusted sources. I can't reiterate that enough. There have been a couple times where I have broken my rule, where I hired contractors that I didn't know, just basically cold hired them, and it came back to bite me in the butt. I make it a point to only hire referrals from contractors from other people I know who have done repeated business with this person, not just one time, but multiple times have done business with this person that they would recommend, because I know that if they've had a good experience, more than likely I'm going to have a good experience. And to this date, I have never had an issue with a contractor that I got as a referral from someone else. Now, I have had issues with people who I've cold hired. I've done it a few times and it's always come back to bite me. Or I've hired someone that, you know, said, oh, I've never used this guy, but my buddy knows this guy, and my friend's brother's uncle's cousin knows this guy. That's getting a little distance and might cause some issues. Also, in that same vein, make sure you're getting multiple quotes if you're dealing with contractors, and make sure those quotes are detailed and you read that scope of work, and make sure that these quotes are apples to apples. They're recommending the same materials, they're saying the same scope of work. Make sure it's a very detailed scope of work, not just a very vague, generic sort of document, okay? Tip number 5, when the contractor or whoever helping you is done, pay them electronically. Like, don't try to write them checks or send them checks or whatever. Try to pay them electronically. It's 2023. There's so many different ways. Most of my contractors, very rarely do I write a check to any of my contractors that work for me. I either pay them through, I have an ACH payment method that I use I use bill.com to do that. I even do wire transfers to some of my trusted contractors. I do Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, all of the above to pay people electronically, so I don't have to waste my time and my gas to go meet them somewhere to give them a check, or take time out of my day for them to come to me to come get a check. I just pay them electronically, but only pay them after the work has been approved by your boots on the ground, whoever that is, right? Maybe it's you. Maybe they send you a bunch of detailed pictures, before and after photos. Make sure that you're approving the work and that it's done before you pay them. Don't ever pay somebody before they're done with the work. Tip number 6, just sell it as is and save the hassle. Don't mess with any of this. Just, if you have a property in an estate and you need to sell it, you don't want to mess with it, just sell it as is to an investor like us. We'd love to buy it from you. We'll even buy it with all the stuff in. In fact, 9 times out of 10 with most estate properties, we're buying them with some sort of stuff in it. The family's gone through the property, they've taken out the heirlooms and the things that they want, and the rest of it in their eyes is just junk, and they don't want to mess with it. Because if you're going through a real estate agent, and I can say this because I'm an agent to myself, most of the time, if you are going to list a property for sale, you're going to want to clean the place out. Because a lot of the buyers that are on the market that are going to be looking through the property doing showings are not going to be able to see past all of the junk in the house, and it's not going to be as helpful to you. Versus an investor like myself, if I go on a property, I can see past the junk. I don't care about the junk. The junk is just noise to me. I just focus on the house, and I'll buy it as is. So if you want to save the hassle, go that route. So, hey, I hope this video was really helpful. Again, these were tips for out-of-state executors or out-of-state executors or out-of-state administrators. Again, I'm Brad with GeorgiaProbateResource.com. If you want to sell a house quick, cash, easy, fast cash offer, no BS, just want it done, that's where we can help. We'd love to make you a cash offer on the property. Or if you want to go the traditional route and you want to list it with a real estate agent, go the traditional way, maximize every last penny out of it. I'd love to talk to you about that as well, because I'm also a real estate agent with One Source in Woodstock here in Georgia. Love to chat with you about that. So thanks again for checking out this video. I really appreciate your time. Again, I'm Brad with GeorgiaProbateResource.com. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.